The Somalian terrorist group Al-Shabaab is considered one of the most dangerous in the world.
Formed in 2004, it's firmly on the FBI's watch list. Joining us from our Canberra bureau now is defence expert Jim Molan. Jim, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Lee.
This is a massive wake-up call for Australia, Jim?
I think it is a wake-up call, but you wouldn't want to overreact to it. It would appear that the police and the intelligence services have reacted very, very well and have been successful. I think it is a wake-up call, but it's even if they had have been successful, Lee, it's not something that would have brought the country down, that would have brought the government down. The real tragedy would have been in the number of people that they killed on the spot at the tactical level.
Jim, as we heard from Simon Reeve there, one of the men involved in this foiled attack was actually picked up initially, making notes outside the gates. Did that surprise you that they'd operate in such an obvious fashion?
No, it doesn't surprise me. We shouldn't talk about the specifics. It's fine for the media to speculate on the security situation in relation to bases, but I guess we shouldn't talk in detail about it. But no, that doesn't surprise me. Quite often, evil people are not all that smart. And these people seem to have been picked up relatively easily, and they've been cross-matched, according to the media reports, with police reports and CCTV. So no, it doesn't surprise me. The great freedoms of our country is that people can walk around and look at things, and you're only restricted in your freedoms in certain areas.
Tell us a bit more about Al-Shabaab, Jim. They're clearly, as we said, on the radar of defence and security forces around the world.
They are, and they're a military wing of a particularly nasty Islamic extremist organisation in Somalia. I don't think you can say that they are part of or they react specifically to Al-Qaeda, but they certainly would share an agenda with Al-Qaeda. You don't need central direction in most of these cases. What occurs is that they share an idea, and that idea is a fundamental hate of the West and everything that we stand for, and that's how activities get done. It's not necessary that an order comes specifically from Osama bin Laden or anyone through Somalia and down into Melbourne.
It may only be an assumption, but how well entrenched do you think they are here? Did it surprise you that they were here?
Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I'd like to think that the Somali community in Australia will have absolutely no part of that, and will say this publicly. I think the greatest defence for our society and our military bases, in fact, is the Islamic community in Australia and the Somali community within Australia. Our fellow citizens, it's these people who must assist us to identify and control extremists within their own community.
So of all the security forces in the world, particularly I suppose the United States, where Al-Shabaab is on the FBI's watch list, why Australia do you think has been targeted?
Well, it's not really just Australia. Almost exactly the same thing happened in the US only recently. A group of Somalis were picked up planning an attack on a US military base, and perhaps this group were influenced by the reports of that in the media. So I don't think it is Australia. I think that we are experiencing international terrorism. Sometimes we think that terrorism only exists in Jakarta or in Mumbai or in Iraq or Afghanistan, but international terrorism is indeed international, and what we must do is deprive it of the oxygen that sustains it wherever we possibly can.
And when you say, Jim, it's going to be up to the authorities to get into the Somali communities and get information, I mean, they are extremists. Is the general everyday Somali community, as you say, our fellow countrymen and women, are they going to really have information on extremists here?
No, but not necessarily. But I think the fridge magnet tells us to be constructively paranoid, and it doesn't only apply to particular communities within our society. I think we've all got to be on the watch, and there is no guarantee of success. There's no way that you can say that because you do such and such, we will never have a terrorist attack. This is a generational struggle as far as I can see, and it's a worldwide international struggle, but we can each play our part.
Jim Molan, great talking with you this morning. Thank you.
Sharon, thank you very much.